Workers are ghosting their employers like bad dates. This was a winter 2018 piece on the Washington Post. It read, Economist report that workers are starting to act like millennials on Tinder. They're ditching their jobs with nary a text. A number of contacts said they had been, quote unquote, ghosted, a situation in which a worker stops coming to work without notice and then is impossible to contact. The Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago noted in December's Beige Book, which tracks employment trends, national data on economic ghosting is lacking. The term, which usually applies to dating, first surfaced in 2016 on dictionary.com, but companies across the country say silent exits are on the rise. Analysts blame Malcolm, America's increasingly tight labor market. Job openings have surpassed the number of seekers for 8 straight months, and the unemployment rate has clung to a 49-year low of 3.7% since September. So Malcolm, have you ever heard or even previously considered the notion of you or friends or anyone else just walking off the job and just like not going back?
No, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. and that essentially was my reaction when I first saw this and was like, no way. Like, this is a place that I'm going to have to 100% side with society that says millennials are ruining the world.
Okay.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, tell me why.
Because we won't be in this tight of labor market forever.
Sure.
We're more likely at the end than we are at the beginning or the middle.
Absolutely.
Which means at some point you could find yourself doing that jump right at a time when it's last hired, first fired.
Right.
And then you will be in a position to need to tighten up that resume.
Right.
And you'll need to be able to put on the work of what you did before the place you just got laid off from.
Absolutely.
And that's a place where you bet not put their information on your resume and give somebody authorization to call and ask for a reference or whatever else.
Y'all heard that? Bet not.
Bet not.
Bet not. All right.
So why would you put yourself in the position to have to need them more than they need you later on down the road?
Right.
Like, I understand that's kind of where we've gotten to culturally. People are idiots and don't think it's necessary to give people their proper respect, basically, and just say, hey, had a great time meeting you, don't want to date anymore, bye. And you're doing that through text, right? You don't even have to pick up the phone and call the person or go meet them face to face like you did in the olden days of the 90s.
Right.
Now you literally just have to fire off one text and people can't be bothered to give that same decorum.
Right.
Which is, frankly, part of the reason I'm glad to be out of the game and getting married soon, and I don't have to worry about that crap.
Indeed.
The old man in me is just not ready to deal with that new world that we're in. Like,
that's funny. The article went on to say janitors, baristas, welders, accountants, and engineers, they're all in demand. More people may opt to skip tough conversations and slide right into their next job. Recruiters at a global staffing firm have noticed a 10 to 20% increase in ghosting over the past year. And then also applicants blew off interviews. New hires turn into no-shows. Workers leave one evening and never return.
Just send an email.
While ghosting in the United States does not require that level of backup planning, consultants urge employers to build meaningful relationships at every stage of the hiring process. Somebody quoted in the piece said, employers leave jobs that suck, jobs where they're abused, jobs where they don't care about the work. And the less engaged they are, the less need they feel to give their bosses any warning, of course, of their departure. So it's interesting. The thought that I had was, has 45 created an economy wherein now people could just dip, and that's what it is now?